Like, you just think the Riddler is the Grinch. That's why you live in Whoville.
Does Mike get the line? Has Mike watched that video?
He's definitely watched it.
Definitely, I
It's in
definitely
his top
saw the line.
Spotify.
Did I actually watch the video? I think I must have watched the video once with
Mike's-
the sound on this time because everyone was like, "You gotta listen to it with the
well,
sound."
who's
on."
everyone? I didn't say that.
I definitely said it.
Yeah, but you clearly seem to be backing Dom here.
Whoa,
so-
whoa, whoa, whoa! I want to take a very firm no stance on having a stance with the Costco guys plus the Rizzler. That's not my thing. That's not my bag. I dumped that bag out.
Okay.
I don't have a stance. That's a Todd and Dom
We'll
thing.
revisit this.
That's a Todd and Dom thing. I don't have.
No, you were the one who got me involved in
Get
the
the fuck outta
Rizzler
here.
and everything.
Listen, we're not doing this again. We're not back-to-back weeks. You weren't here last week. We don't get to do it a second time. We're not doing this.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's like, I feel like I'm such a big part of it, though, especially because of you.
Okay. Oh, okay. No.
Oh, the last, before Dom's wedding, everywhere we went, you're like, I'm going to give this food 3 big booms. Boom.
Wait, we hung out? Where did
And
we hang
the
out?
thing was, I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't know
Where
that was a
we hang out?
Costco
When
guy
we went
thing when
to
he was
the
doing
meeting.
it.
Oh, now the
When we
three
went
of
to
us
the-
were hanging out. Prove this.
No,
Where are
when-
the pictures?
When we went to that
We don't-
tequila bar, you couldn't stop saying, this margarita gets 4 big booms. And you over and over again. Brenden wouldn't stop the whole night. And he didn't even drink. He was the only one who wasn't drinking. He was just dead sober doing this.
Yeah, he kept looking at me and going, Todd's really making this night a doom.
Oh, now Dom was there too. Now all four of us were there. Okay, all right, got it.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
It was a good evening besides you doing that.
Oh my God, stop it. The actual way this episode was going to open was going to be a call to the listeners to give me your hacks for laundry. I left a fucking tube of chapstick in the laundry,
Did it
and it
change the color of
stained
everything?
fucking everything in the laundry. Not everything, but it stained so much shit. I've tried so many things to take these stains out of these clothes. Baking soda, dish soap. I bought like extra high power fucking OxyClean. Nothing. I just did another load with a different remedy, and we'll see when it comes out of the dryer if it took the stains out. But I don't even care. Like the shirts that it ruined for me, surprisingly, again, it was a full load of laundry, and all it ruined was like 3 of my shirts, 3 of Jen's shirts, and 1 pair of my underwear for some reason. If the underwear stained, I don't care. Like no one's seen my underwear. The shirts, it would be unfortunate if one of them, the stains can't come out, because that would be a shirt that I would wear outside of the house. The other 2 shirts I primarily wear in the house. So like if the stains don't come out, it's not the end of the world. But the shirts for her that got ruined, she's like, oh, these are like shirts that I wear all the time. I'm like, I'll just buy you new shirts, but I really would like to fix everything. So if you have some weird laundry remedy specifically for chapstick stains, leave us a comment. Let me know how to fix that.
Oh,
Chapstick is probably petroleum based.
makes
So
sense.
Yeah.
probably not coming out.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm sure there's some weird thing like lemon and this, like, but I'm trying things step by step. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, we got a great show for you tonight. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass the Controller podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about chapstick too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening, even though for some reason I keep thinking it's Saturday. It's not, but my brain keeps doing that for some reason. We had a great show for you tonight. Joining us, of course, is the anime senpai himself. Some might call him Martini Mike, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Meh.
What you sipping on over there? I saw you pull up a can. What you got going on over there tonight?
I don't know what this one is.
Was it
Saint Bernardus?
St. Bernard's? Oh, the Christmas beer?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? I feel like that's a very out of your typical wheelhouse. It's a Belgian Christmas ale.
That's fine.
No, just fine. Not like
I mean, like, I'm not opposed to it. Like,
okay.
I'm not
Okay.
offensively against it.
Okay. I feel like it probably has a lot of flavors that you would like, but I guess I don't know if you've ever had a Belgian beer before. I don't really know.
I also don't know. I'm not keeping track of these things.
Have I ever given you one of those elephant beers? I feel like I must have. Pink elephant, blue can.
Actually, I feel like he did, but I feel like that was a long time ago.
Okay. Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Fortnite father himself, Mr. Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
Good. I'm kind of pissed I missed the Rizzler talk, but
I mean, we can really hash it out again if you want. I don't think that's what our
really.
listeners want. If we're just being honest.
Can we just make it the Rizzler podcast?
I mean, we could do whatever the fuck we want. Like that's the reality. But I'm trying to be cognizant of the people that actually listen to the show, and not be like, all right, cool, back to back this. A Rizzler.
We can be the number one Costco Boys podcast.
Is that what we want? Like, is that what we want to chase? Like, is that the thing?
I mean, they're big. They're popping right now.
True.
Do they need a podcast roundup? Is that what they need? Do they need a spoiler cast?
I don't know if they need it, but I think it's a market. I think it's a market that.
All right. Well, this is what we're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to curate a playlist of their stuff and send it to Mike and I, so we can then also indulge it. And then we can have that proper Rizcast.
Oh, I'm not going to be on the show. You can.
Oh no, you have to be there. We can't. Mike, there's no guest for that one. There's no guests that want to come on for that one.
You might be able to get the Rizzler himself.
He's too big. He was on Fallon. We don't have Fallon fucking pull.
Oh well.
Have we ever had a guest that has also been on Fallon? I don't think so.
I don't know. Someone check the notes.
Todd, you gotta pick a fucking spot because I can't keep.
I haven't even moved.
Camera. You have moved like 5 times.
Bro, I have not moved.
Todd, you can later go to youtube.com, search Pass the Controller podcast, look up this episode, and watch the first 6 minutes of this episode.
In the exact same seat.
Sure, but you're doing this. You're going this way and this way. You're all over the place.
Definitely not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Rounding us out, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Mr. Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Love to hear it. Love to see it. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about stuff we've been playing, talk about the Game Awards a little bit, and we'll see where it goes from there. But before we get into all of that, a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Control Podcast, episode 450, just cruising along here, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and at Good Morning Chubby. Get yourself some tasty, tasty treats. A couple other quick housekeeping things. The PTC Movie Club for December is my pick, and unfortunately it was picked by these 3 chaotic knuckleheads. So we're going to watch Hot Frosty this month. So if you want to hear us talk about Hot Frosty, make sure you watch Hot Frosty on Netflix sometime this month, and we'll chat about it at the end of the month. So enjoy that. I think what we should try to do, unless things get chaotic with people's schedules, we should just try to record that one either next week or the week in between Christmas and New Year's. Because I feel like if we record that one in January, I mean, who's watching Hot Frosty in January? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they are. But we'll see.
Maybe I'm going to be on my second watch by then.
Well, Jen's been very excited to watch this. She's like, are we watching Hot Frosty this weekend? I was like, maybe. I don't know. I guess. Sure.
Like, I'm waiting till last minute because I really don't want to watch it.
I mean, I want to watch it for some of the actors. And like, I want to see if there's like good Craig Robinson and Joe Latrulio.
I think that's right.
Yeah. Like, if there are good bits with them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we talk about that later in the month.
My next pick, I'm making you guys watch a 3.5-hour movie, just so you know.
Cool. Are we watching fucking Dune? What are we watching?
The Brutalist. No, I don't even think it's going to be out by the time it's my pick.
Cool. Well, January's coming up, so that means we're getting a rotation reroll at the beginning of the month. So we will see who's getting what months for the rest of the year. And maybe, who knows, maybe the winner of the scoreboard gets to pick what places they get in. So they get to pick which month they're in. What does the winner get? Does the winner ever get anything? I don't remember. Have we given?
I don't think I've gotten anything yet.
That sounds like Dom is owed some things. So
well, we need a game show episode to fucking close the gap. I mean, for fuck's sake.
or just fucking have Dom fucking run up the scoreboard.
I
true.
suppose, to be fair, last year I got to pick double movies every movie pick. So
You did? You had a double
I'm
feature
pretty
every
sure.
month? Every time you picked?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that last year I picked double features.
But is that what we really want to give people the power to do? That's so many things to watch.
I think that every month you should be able to pick a single or a double feature.
or a triple feature? I mean,
I don't think
honestly,
any of those
if it's a
Mike, I need your
if
back
it's a trilogy,
here.
yeah.
I need your fucking back here, Mike. Hop
Mike's
in
like,
here.
I'm down, man.
Shut this shit down.
I was against movie club from the get.
Yeah,
Mike knows I'm not
Mike
going to
doesn't
pick
wanna
Hot
watch-
Frosty.
Mike doesn't want to watch. To be fair, you three picked Hot Frosty almost immediately because you wanted that chaos pick.
Mhm.
So you
When
can't
I
blame
thought
me.
when
You
you
cannot
had
blame me.
chaos, I assumed you had like
I can
some
blame
horror
you. I
movie
can
on
blame
there
you for
that, like,
putting
you would never
something
wanna
as
watch.
putting something behind the tantalizing chaos option.
I thought the categories were pretty clear. It was you're going to pick a movie that I picked, a movie that Jen picked, a movie that was on theme, or fucking chaos.
Yeah, but we already know that you have trash movie taste, so we had to rule that one out immediately.
You still
I thought
chose
we were
chaos.
picking a movie that Professor Chaos picked.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd
Oh.
rather watch Hot Frosty than my bird name, whatever, like Tokyo or whatever the.
He's trying to say the
Pick you
boy and the
had.
herons, but
Oh, the
he-
boy and the heron. Yeah.
Listen, the picks that I had locked behind me were The Boy and the Heron, Saturday Night, and I forget what the other one was. I was probably just going to make you pick again between those
Is
movies.
Saturday Night like available to watch yet on iTunes, or is it?
I think it's money
I
everywhere.
don't think iTunes exists,
funny.
but
I mean, Apple TV.
yeah, I don't think it's streaming. I think you have to pay for it.
I still have an iTunes logo on my phone.
yeah, I think iTunes still does exist.
It does? Oh, I thought they just
Yeah,
got rid of that branding.
I don't think you use it to like buy money. I mean, to buy movies. I think
Buy-
it's just music.
Interesting. They didn't just rebrand it to Apple Music? Is that not just what it's called now?
I think they're all different things doing different stuff. I'm not in the Apple ecosystem enough to know. I know that one time I tried to sync an iPhone to my computer and I had to download iTunes onto my computer to get it to work. And I was very upset about that.
Huh. So, let's see. As of January of this year, Apple discontinued iTunes in 2019, essentially replacing it with Apple Music and Apple TV. Though some things may still use the word iTunes, it doesn't actually exist.
I mean, I have an iTunes store where I can buy music,
On your
and
phone?
it's like, yeah, and it's like currently updated, like the
How do I
Moana 2
find
soundtrack available to buy.
Oh, I also have an I didn't even know there was an app on my phone.
Yeah, because nobody buys music
Huh.
anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all.
I used to check like all like the top like songs too or whatever. Didn't they used to do that? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We used to be a society.
Cool. Cool.
Saturday night is still money, by the way. I just double checked.
Still monies. Is it supposed to go somewhere streaming?
Well, I think didn't it have like a limited. It had a limited theatrical.
It did go
release.
in theaters. Yes. Yeah.
I think it was very limited though, and now it's basically premium VOD or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, where you can.
So at some point it should hit that. I imagine it would go to Peacock, right?
Oh,
That would
maybe,
make
yeah.
the most sense, but I cannot guarantee it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think Lauren was like consulted on it, but I don't
would
know if
hope
it's
so.
I don't know if it's like a NBC Universal movie. I have no idea.
They use the property Saturday night.
They did, but that could have been the case of, and this is us talking out of our asses, like, oh, okay, I'm Warner Brothers, let me license out, like, can
I suppose
use your
I
thing?
suppose they also used Saturday night since it was the first episode, and not like it was not called Saturday Night Live at that point.
Production companies: Columbia Pictures, distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing. That's according to Wikipedia. I don't actually know what any of that means, but as what Wikipedia says.
Yeah, the entertainment business world is confusing and doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a Sony Pictures thing. So I again, I don't know what that means for who's actually involved and whatever. But
Yeah, so I mean, anyone depends on how those deals have been made. Who's going to end up getting it once it goes into regular streaming services? But
yeah,
prior to that, it might drop down in price in order to rent at the bare minimum to like a reasonable, $5 for a 48-hour rental.
yeah. I mean, I feel like it would make sense for it to go to Peacock, but it doesn't necessarily have to go to Peacock.
Yeah, like if Sony already has a deal with, let's say, Netflix, it might go to Netflix instead.
Interesting. Other quick housekeeping things. I reviewed Anton Blast. It's over on the website. Head over to passthecontroller.io and check out that and everything else we do over there. But I think we'll just roll right into the rest of what's going on. Mike, what do you got going on this week? You been playing anything? Watching anything?
Just bouncing around, Overwatch, Persona, MultiVersus a little bit.
MultiVersus. Have you made any like strong headway on Persona, or kind of still in the same?
At the bare minimum, I have all the party members.
Okay. I don't know what that means for like game progress.
In terms of gameplay, let's see. I think I beat. So again, the characters are under the belief that there are X amount of bosses.
Okay.
Like they figured out, like, oh, this is gonna happen X amount of times. So according to them, I think I've got 3 of those left.
Okay.
Do you think they're in the know?
Huh?
Do you think the characters are actually in the know?
No, that's my point. That's my point, is that by Persona logic, yes, there's those 3 left, and then there's always going to be at least one other one after that.
Yeah, you have to fight God at some point. I mean,
exactly. So we definitely have the 3. There's definitely one other character that one other thing that I expect to be a quote unquote boss, and then probably even something else after that too.
So it's probably too early and nonsensical for you to even give a real answer to this question. And I do anticipate on playing Persona 3 Reload, which I know I sent you that
link to like purchase it or whatever.
And now I have it so that it can't fucking go anywhere if it comes off Game Pass. But we can have a more fleshed out conversation in the future, so you can look forward to that. But you and I are both big fans of Persona 5.
Mm-hmm.
Have you come to a point with this game yet where you think you can stack the two up against each other, or you need to finish it before you can even like think about that? And I only ask this question while you're gathering your thoughts because I feel like there's a lot of people that just say Persona 3 is the best Persona. The people that have played the Persona games.
I think I probably still like Persona 5 more.
Okay.
And I think that is largely because I like both the characters and the story and like gameplay mechanics. There's a bunch of things about Persona 5 that I think I like more than Persona 3.
Okay. Yeah,
like
I mean that's fair. I
the
mean,
fact-
Persona 3 Royal said Persona 3 Persona 5 Royal and we said Persona 5 Reload is probably in my top 10 games of all time. Like I love that game. Like
yeah.
Not a perfect game, has some things that I think are just a general Atlas Persona thing that they need to figure out, which I haven't finished Metaphor, but it seems like Metaphor has been like the next correct step forward in some of the kind of problems they find themselves with in their prior titles. But I love Royal. Royal like changed my life. It changed how I look at video games. Like that game is fantastic. Like the game is so fucking good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping
Persona 3's...
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say I was hoping 3 and or 4 whenever I play them also have similar effects to me. But you were saying.
Oh, yeah. I imagine 4 might be a little bit better for me once I get around to it. But 3, I think part of the problem is that there's only so much Tartarus I can typically deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think there was something good about the fact that in 5 you had different locations to go to. You had those different palaces to kind of spice things up.
Yeah.
And then there was Mementos as the side. And also, I think the social links, for the most part, are better in 5.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't compare it to 4 yet, but 3, a lot of these guys, I'm like, why am I talking to you, man? What are you doing for me?
I'm excited to get back to it at some point. If it's seemingly as we're getting towards the middle of this month, like it's not gonna happen fully in December, but it sounds like a January priority for me will be to, if I haven't already started the journey a second time this month, January will be what I am trying to do, and I'm thinking about this out loud before fucking Monster Hunter comes out, because I'm pretty sure that's a January game, so wonderful. Goodbye, January. I do want to quickly dip my foot into Mike's Anna Minute, everyone's favorite segment. I texted you this. I like went back and forth with texting you this because I wanted to reveal it here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, caught up with Don, loving it. Are you caught up with Don? Anime wise, obviously. Okay.
No.
Still fantastic. Loving Don. Like to the point where I don't know when this anime is supposed to end. I'm gonna probably continue reading it after the anime finishes what it's doing.
I imagine it's gonna be a 10 or 13 episode show. How many?
I think it's on 11 right now, so yeah, it must be 13.
Probably 13.
Unless Netflix ones are longer, because I think Delicious in Dungeon's first season was like 20 episodes, maybe. I don't know. But regardless, I'm gonna probably end up reading it after, because I'm really enjoying the characters. Like they're really, really good. But because of that, and like I still actually haven't finished watching Delicious in Dungeon, but I've been just kind of like doing that when I feel like it, because I read the whole thing. So like it's not like I already know what's going on. I just kind of like enjoying that as I feel like putting it on an episode or two. But I decided that at some point I'm gonna dip my toes into some older anime that people really like. Whether I finish them or watch a lot of it, that will be its own thing. I watched Full Metal back in the day, but I have heard people say to like rewatch it again as an adult and you'll like it even more. So Brotherhood might happen at some point. Is that on Netflix? I think it is, right?
Not anymore, I don't think.
Interesting.
I have to double check.
But like 3 anime that come to mind that I've never watched, I don't think in earnest, at least. Maybe they were on like an episode of Cartoon Network or something, Toonami, and I watched it. But Rurouni Kenshin, Inuyasha, and Ranma. Is it Ranma half or Ranma 1/2?
I always mentally called it Ranma 1/2, but I've never been in a conversation where the name was said aloud, so I don't know.
Okay. So Ranma 1/2 has been remade for Netflix. And from what I understand, it's like pretty much just like new animation. Like it's like they didn't change anything else, really. It's like a pretty
I haven't looked into it
one-to-one.
that much, but that's my understanding, is that they basically just remade it with new animation.
Yeah. So I never have you watched Inuyasha, right? Did you watch all 3 of these?
I did not watch Ranma 1/2. I watched Inuyasha. Like I definitely didn't watch all of it, but I watched a portion of it.
Okay. What about Rurouni Kenshin?
Rurouni Kenshin I did watch, and they also recently started remaking Rurouni Kenshin.
I don't think I knew that. I was aware. I don't know when the Ranma thing came out. I was aware though, because I heard someone else mention it at some point, and then it popped up on my Netflix feed as like a recommended thing because of things that I watch, and I was like, all right, yeah, I don't really know anything about this. I'll pop up an episode and see how I'm feeling about it, and still like definitely a product of its time, story and character and dialogue wise, but it's fun. I'm having a good time. I'm like episode 4, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll probably watch more of this. I'm enjoying myself. It definitely has like a very specific era of anime.
I think Ranma 1/2 was originally serialized like late 80s, I think.
So
Maybe
prior to Dragon Ball then?
No. I think it would have been after Dragon Ball. I couldn't tell you for certain.
Okay. It gives me like some of its humor and stuff like gives me like Dragon Ball, not Z vibes. So I'm like, okay, like I'm fucking around with this. Like this is kind of my bag for for like a specific need that I have with certain. It's like I like certain things and I like other certain things, and I don't necessarily need them both at the same time. But like sometimes I need this thing, and Ranma is. I mean, it's a silly premise. Like the upfront premise for the other two, and for anyone listening, is just Ranma is like was training abroad. I don't know if they say up front why he's trying to be like the best martial artist or not. Like, I don't know if I don't think they mention it. I don't know if you know the reason why, but I don't think they've mentioned it. Basically, he's like training abroad. He falls. Oh, I won't. I guess he ends up. I guess is it a spoiler to say what happens to him?
Again,
because I didn't know that. I had no idea that was a thing.
I'll be upfront. I've never watched or read it. I just know the basic premise, or like the conceit of Ranma herself.
Okay, so yeah, Mike. What is Mike is alluding to? Maybe it's a spoiler. So if you don't want anything to do with Ranma, then skip 15 seconds. But basically, there's something that happens to Ranma that will have him go back and forth between being a female and a male, and it's just an interesting show, and I'm enjoying it. It's great.
Hijinks too.
Yeah, it's hijinks is the correct word. So
because I didn't watch it or read it, so I don't know anything about it, and I don't say this as a way to get you to watch anything else. But the creator of Ranma is the same creator as Inuyasha.
I mean, listen, Mike, this is what I'll say. And I didn't know this. I don't know if this is a more prevalent thing that I was unaware of, but if I end up liking Ranma, it will probably make me go watch Inuyasha or engage with it in some way after, because I was so unaware that people that worked with Fujimoto on stuff then split off to do their own things, and I happen to like all of those things for the most part. So now I'm kind of like, oh, is that super prevalent that like people working with like the more well-known name go off and do these things? Because I haven't watched. I'm not gonna be able to do it off my top of my head, but the people that have like more prominent work after their time with Fujimoto, Hell's Paradise, correct?
I think Hell's Paradise. I believe so.
I think it's Hell's Paradise, Spy Family.
I didn't know about Spy Family.
Don Da Don.
I didn't know about that either.
And now let me just double. Maybe I don't want to
double
speak out of
check,
my
but
ass.
yeah, a lot of manga writers, get their start being assistants for other more popular manga writers, and then they break off, they do their own thing, and sometimes it blows up.
So
oh wow,
this is the exact thing that I had pulled up before that someone else mentioned, and this was the graphic that they showed me. So after Fire Punch, one of his assistants, Yuji Kaku, went off and did Hell's Paradise.
Okay.
And then another one of his assistants, Tatsuya Endo, went off and did Spy Family. And then Yukinobu Tatsu went off and did Don Da Don. So like, I apparently I got to watch Hell's Paradise at some point. Have you watched that or no?
I was going to, and then I don't know. I don't think the premise. I didn't watch it, but I feel like I looked into the premise and maybe it didn't captivate me enough to actually give it a shot.
Okay.
What's so good about that Tadadan? Because, like I said, I watched the first episode, and I just don't know if I wanted to stick around for anything after that. Like, is it the animation? Is it like just the
22
story's
minutes?
good?
Just watch another episode. It's not like a huge
No, I know,
time
but
sink.
no, it wasn't even that.
And the
I mean,
animation definitely does help.
Yeah, the animation's fantastic. I mean, I was hooked after episode
That's what I
1.
figured.
If you watch episode 2 and you're not hooked, then I mean, bounce. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it has a very interesting premise, and I think that the first episode, aside from the stuff we talked about previously, which is like it has some jarring scenes that don't really follow it through after, at least not to the same extent. So like maybe it's hard to. I actually do know one other person who was super turned off from Don Da Don after the first episode, but someone else was like, "Hey, no, like you just watch the second episode. If you don't like it after that, great, but like." they specifically didn't like some of that first episode shit.
I didn't mind the first episode. It wasn't something that was like, I need to watch more. You know, I was like, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I think it's great. I like the characters a lot, and like the more it goes on, like I like Momo and Okarun a lot. So, and some of the other people that get folded into the mix. So,
yeah, the story seems to be interesting, and the characters are, I would say, more endearing than anything else. So it's fun to see what kind of stories they get themselves wrapped up into.
Yeah. And I like the setup of the world, like the very pulled back broad pitches that like ghosts and aliens exist, and I just like the setup of what's going on and how they keep delving deeper into some of those things. So what about you, Todd? What you got going on this week? Anything?
I'm running through my 4th playthrough of Cyberpunk.
Fucking crazy. Did you see the thing I sent you? I know I sent it to you late in the night.
So the
Balatro stuff.
Balatro combo. Yeah. Did that stuff all sell out, or? I didn't even,
I'm talking about that. There's a Balatro quest in Cyberpunk.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, because there's been so many updates. So like that's what, like every time I play Cyberpunk, there's been like 3 or 4 updates that they just keep on rolling out, and there's like new like I did a mission today, and I was like, I fucking have done like 99% of this game, and I've never done this mission before. Like there's always new shit that they're adding to it, but yeah, that game is fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to find the Balatro quest and tell me if it's worth.
I will.
Turning
I'll
that
definitely
game
will.
on for.
Yeah. Well, they tie in edge runners into it now too, so there's certain things you can do, like where like like it like that shit was never in there before. They keep on adding stuff like that.
Did you see the Cyberpunk Balatro shirts, sweatshirts?
Yes,
so that's what I sent.
I kind of want that hoodie. I want that hoodie, but it's like I don't know.
I think they're just they might just be pre-order only. So if you don't buy it within that time window, they don't.
Yeah, I just don't know who I'm buying it from, and I don't know how those hoodies are, and like.
I think it's just. I think it's just CD Projekt Red's merch store.
It is CD Projekt. Okay, yeah. I didn't realize it's just them. And then I've been playing a good amount of Rivals. I'm only playing competitive now.
Oh my god, are you really only playing competitive?
Yeah, because it's like once I do that, because I don't care. I'm not like fully committed to like, I don't care about my rank really. Like I'm not trying to tank my rank, but like, I like how the matches are longer, and I feel like. I don't know, playing like the quick play is good if we're playing with friends, but like it's just I'd rather just play competitive, and so I'm like I basically just play fucking Doctor Strange almost every match now because no one picks tank in competitive. So but I'm
with the stack. You don't need to like.
Yeah, I know it's been kind of quiet on the Discord though, so I've been waiting. Everyone's away.
Half of that, if not more, at the Game Awards. Right.
Yeah,
now.
so it's but I'm really enjoying that game. And then obviously Indiana Jones, which we can talk about. Loving that. I think 3 of us are playing. Oh, I mean, actually, all of us are playing it right now, right?
Oh, did you start it, Tom?
Yeah, I'm almost through that first section.
Oh shit! Okay, we can definitely talk about that then. Do you have anything else to talk about, Todd, or no? Do you have anything else besides Indy to talk about, Dom, or no?
I didn't watch this week's, but I've been watching Creature Commandos, which is.
Oh yeah, I need to start.
How is that?
Fun.
I don't have HBO Max, so
it's fine. It's like I don't know. It's its own thing.
Yeah, it's a DC animated show. It's like the first
it's James Gunn's first thing for the DC universe.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it supposed to be tied into other stuff they're doing, or is it just its own thing?
I mean, technically, it is tied in.
These characters, I think, are going to be playing these characters in live action eventually. Yeah. Like Frank Grillo is going to be Rick Flag Sr. and all that other stuff.
Yeah. What's his name? Hopper.
Weasel was
What's
there?
his name?
David Harbour?
David Harbour is Frankenstein.
Oh, I didn't even realize he was a voice.
Yep. And then, Weasel's there from Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
From the Suicide Squad. And Sean Gunn also voices... I can't remember what his name is. The robot that's from World War II.
Okay.
Interesting.
Before... Unless you have something else to say about Creature Commandos, I just wanted to ask you something else real quick.
No.
All right.
The animation style is nice. It's like worth watching. They're quick episodes.
I knew it was out, and I had so much free time. I forgot that I should have just started watching it.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I didn't start watching yet, did you start Skeleton Crew?
I have not.
Okay, that's why
I'm
I wanted
waiting.
to ask.
I'm waiting to
Did you
watch that
start
with the
watching
kids.
it, Mike, or no?
Probably start watching.
No, I didn't start watching it yet either. I just wanted to see if he had.
Future Commandos I started and like caught up to because they're 20-minute episodes or 25-minute episodes or whatever. Because I went on HBO Max to start Penguin, and those are hour-long episodes, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that."
That's,
I'm doing that
that's
right now.
tough. Yeah.
I've only gotten through 2 episodes so far.
Is
So
I'm sure it's great, but that's a lot.
Skeleton Crew 40-minute episodes?
I think so.
Oof.
Oh, I also started. I didn't even finish the first episode of the Dune show. I started it and like, I was like, oh yeah, I'll come back to it.
That even came out.
There's a Dune show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
That
it
one's called
tied into the
Prophecy,
movies?
right?
Like yeah, Dune Prophecy, something like that. It's supposed to take. It takes place like 10,000 years before the movie.
Okay. So no actors from the movie.
Yeah.
No actors from the movies,
No.
but they definitely like, despite the fact that it takes place, 10 millennia before the movies, they clearly like have people cast who sort of look like characters in the movies.
Okay. Interesting. Unless you have something else, Dom.
No, I think mostly this week I've just been playing indie.
Okay. Before we get into indie, play more indie. I want to talk about another game that I've been playing as well, which I think I mentioned last week, but I didn't play enough of it to really talk about it. Is Rise of the Golden Idol, which is fucking fantastic. I mean, I loved Case of the Golden Idol, which was their the first game, and this is just, if you've played that game or you're familiar with it, it's just not expansion. It is a whole new game, but it is an expansion of that idea, and it's a lot of similar gameplay, it's a lot of similar type of puzzles, but a little bit different graphical art style, and I want to say harder. I mean, not like you need to be using your brain for these games. Like they're not necessarily easy. They are actually like weird, and I think I said this for Case of the Golden Idol as well. They're like sneaky co-op games because I want to think that I'm smart enough to do this on my own, but there are just moments where I'm like, I don't know if I have the brain power to actually figure this out, or maybe I would benefit from like taking a break and coming back. But like I played most of Case of the Golden Idol with Jen, and it was great because like we were just solving this shit together, and it was a fun time. And I haven't played this one with her yet, but I was in a Discord call, and there was like a part where I was just like, I felt like I had the fucking answers, and I felt like I knew what I was doing, and I like poked someone who was in the call, Jesse Vitelli, friend of the show, and I was like, Jesse, fucking look at this. Like, am I on the right track? Like, am I going down the wrong hole? And like, he made me talk about it out loud, like my reasoning, and then it started to like click in my brain. And it's just like it's a really good feeling when you're like figuring these puzzles out. So like, do any of you know like what the game is, or like how it functions, or no?
I feel like I do, but I'm not sure.
Like
I feel like
Pentiment,
I
kind
feel
of,
like I've
right?
heard about it before.
Not really. It's more of like, so when you start a new level,
Point and click, or
it's not really like, yeah, you are pointing and clicking, but it's not like moving around like Pentiment and like adventuring in any way. You go into a specific scene, and within that scene you are trying to figure out what is happening, and you are clicking on stuff to pick up people's names, nouns, verbs, whatever it may be, and you are trying to use all of the context clues within that scene to then fill out other pieces of things that basically, this is what's going on in this scene. And I'm probably about halfway through the game, and it's fantastic. If it's just as good as the first game, if not better, and like I absolutely foresee this being in my top 10. Where it lands, I don't know, but it's so fucking good. It is the first game at least had a overarching story that eventually kind of popped its head up towards the end. I assume this one also is probably leaning towards that. I don't know if it has any big grand tie-ins to the first game, but so far it seems like, to me, I would say if you didn't play the first game and you just wanted to jump in here, I don't think there's a barrier to that. I think you can do what you want to do. You might miss some references, but I haven't noticed anything that's like, oh, I wouldn't understand this if I didn't play the first game. But really fucking good, fantastic. I'm playing on an Xbox. It's probably best played on PC just because you can actually just point and click with a mouse, but I'm playing on an Xbox and enjoying my time with it. I played the first one on Switch, which, again, same thing, moving around with joysticks, but at least with the Switch, you had touchscreen capabilities, so you could just tap on the screen to do stuff. But really, really good. Like, I can't speak highly enough about this game. I'm really enjoying it. I think more people should play both Case of the Golden Idol and Rise of the Golden Idol. Fantastic game. But yeah, that will bring us into indie. So you are still. I mean, I don't think it's. You're still at the college campus, Mike?
Yes.
Do you have an idea of where you're going in the next section? To what?
I thought it started in that. I thought it started in. It's like
no, you start in like South America.
I forgot. I completely forgot you start at the college campus.
No, you don't.
Well,
you start
in the scene from yeah.
Is that South America?
Oh, that
that's
what it was. Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Is it South America?
I think so. I forget. Then you're at the college campus. You fight the giant. He steals a cat mummy, and then you have to like do a puzzle, and then it's like, all right, pack your suitcase and get your journal. And I did that, and then I stopped. And then I think I literally loaded up like whatever the next place was where I go to, and I don't know, I shut the game.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to go into too big detail on certain stuff, but I mean, the next location you go to is Italy, and I'll just leave it at that. So you're not in Italy yet, Mike. You haven't played in Italy.
Well, I haven't played in Italy. I think I'm there,
okay,
but I stopped playing as soon as the game put me there.
All I'm gonna say is this off the top is I kind of had low to no to like I don't think I was super like I was gonna check this game out at some point because it was coming to Game Pass, but I don't think I was personally like giddy to play this game. I also don't think the normal gameplay loop in this game is typically something that I seek out. The opening to this game fucking blew me away. It
gets better and better though.
It really does get better and better, and I loved the opening to this game. Like it was like such a great job of feeling like a fucking Indiana Jones movie. Like it's, I don't know who did the music.
But it was.
But like the rest of the game keeps that spirit and keeps that feeling. But like
it's almost like the beginning scene is like this indie, but like we're introducing you to this indie.
Yes.
Yeah. You've seen this indie before, but like this is Troy Baker as indie,
which is crazy because I know everyone's been saying this, and I'm just gonna reiterate it. His impression of Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones is kind of wild. Like I will say, the more I've played the game now, and I'm playing with headphones when I play, so maybe that's just I'm hearing it closer to my fucking head. But there are at points where I'm like, he kind of sounds like Jeff Goldblum, but I can also just picture Jeff Goldblum also doing an Indiana Jones.
What you're saying though, their voices are kind of similar.
Yeah, they're kind of similar. Yeah.
Who else doesn't? I just actually heard a Mark Hamill impersonation of what's his name? Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And it was like just as spot. I was like, whoa,
I think I've heard him do that before.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's like when they're in the trash. It's when he's in the trash compactor and like Harrison Ford leans over to him and he's like, "Kid, if they're worried about this, then, we got a lot more things for you." Or something like that.
If they're worried about that we're dry coming out of the trash compactor.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. The opening, fantastic. I think it starts a little bit slow after that, but like once you kind of get picking up and once you're like in Italy doing stuff, I found myself doing like every fucking side mission and like looking for every
collecting papers and like I love like the ching, like every time you get it and like doing all the book stuff and everything. Yeah,
it's tough because I feel like a lot of games for me personally, I like Fallout's a great example. Fallout does so much storytelling in the fucking computers and like all that shit, and I feel like I have to be really invested and in the mood for that type of thing. And so far there hasn't been a time where I've booted up indie where I'm like, I don't want to look for notes and read this shit and like figure out what's going on. Like I'm fucking there, I'm in it, and it's so good.
If anything, the biggest drawback for me, and it's not even a complaint, but like the combat, I'd rather do the other stuff than like I don't even like puzzle games, and I think these puzzles are well thought out. They're not like insane where I'm like, what the fuck do I do? You can figure them. I think I hit the YouTube one
I mean,
thing.
there's definitely some ones that you have to really think, or maybe even use pen and paper. Like I've
I feel like the side,
I use my,
I feel like
I
the
use
side
notes.
missions are the harder ones.
yeah,
though.
the side mission stuff.
Okay,
none of the main
I haven't
stuff.
done.
Yeah,
I
like
haven't really done many of those.
before I
Even
left.
the wine one though, like when you had to pour the wine, like that one
Oh,
was
that
like I had to
was-
like write that down on my phone because I was like, okay, I gotta like.
thought that was
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Yeah, I thought it
I'm
was
pretty
easy,
dumb.
too.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. There have been puzzles, especially at the beginning, where I was like, "Oh man, like some of these puzzles are kind of easy. I hope there's a little bit more of a challenge at some point," and there definitely is. Like, before I left Italy to go to the next location, I was just kind of cleaning up. I was like, "Oh, what else can I get done that I've already started or whatever?" And kind of seeing what other missions were still sitting there for me, or other like mysteries or whatever they call them, field works. And one of the ones that I was like in the process of doing, and I thought correctly, I was at the end of it. I was trying so hard to figure out the way to decipher the combination to open the thing, and I was like, okay, I'm throwing in the towel here. It's just a side mission. I don't care, but I'm standing in front of the safe, so I'm just gonna fucking look up the solution to open it, because like I'm okay with not being. I'm just. It's a video game. I'm just gonna open the fucking safe. I don't care.
Plus, if you probably got a book in that safe that you can't get. Like I'm not sure if you can like get like all these books.
Yeah, I don't know if some of that stuff
but...
pops up in other ways.
Yeah,
But it was when I had like figured out the solution by looking at what I looked at online that told you how to solve it. I was like, oh, I definitely would not have done that. Like I there's no way I would have done that. So it was the shipping container one. Did either of you do that? I'm assuming Todd didn't.
So I didn't.
I found it, and I was like, I'll come back to this because like I don't know if I like need to grab something like in order to solve this, and now I can't find it again.
It is not easy to get to. I can tell you where to go. It's not easy to get to.
The map's not easy to use either. Like it's not hard, but it's not like
the map is like easy to use if it's like a main mission, but like the side missions, it like doesn't always tell you like where you're supposed to go.
Well, not only
And you
that,
can't
it's
zoom
like
in and everything.
some of those side missions put you in territory that like you have to be stealth too. So like you have to be like sparingly using your map, because you can't just like walk around and do shit, because like the shipping container mission is in an area where you can't be seen.
Do you not have that costume?
I don't, and I didn't know it was a thing until I was about to leave, and I was like, how the fuck did I not find this?
See, I have that costume and I still didn't do that mission.
I'm like aggravated I never found it.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, like the way this game's going, this is probably in my top 3 of this year. If it I don't think it's going to drop off. From what I've read and people talking about this game, like this would probably be in my top 3. Like I wish they released this a little earlier so it could have been in the talks, because I think this game is pretty fucking. You know me, I'm always bitching and moaning about Xbox and their first party games and how like, oh, another disappointment. Oh, when's this coming out? And I had low expectations for this game when I found out that like there's very little gunplay that needs to be done. But yeah, I'm fucking loving it. It doesn't even bother me at all.
I maxed out my ammo and have not taken out my gun.
I finally took my gun out.
Anything.
I took my gun out recently and I shot someone. Next thing I saw was like 15 plus exclamation points pop up everywhere. I'm like, oh, okay, no, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
I lied. I did actually use a gun, because sometimes you get achievements.
I use it on the big boy.
Sometimes you get achievements for like killing someone with an item, and I like towards the end of the Italy portion, I like accidentally alerted a lot of Nazis, and I was like, oh, let me fist fight this guy. He dropped like an assault rifle. I was like, well, I'll just see if whatever. I'll just see if it.
I got that achievement too. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get an achievement though.
Oh, if you take a weapon away from someone,
You have to
pick
do
it
it
up
with
and
your
kill
whip.
them.
Oh,
You have to whip the weapon. Yeah, so if you whip someone,
I just punch him in the fucking face.
Yeah, it's way more satisfying punching someone.
Yeah,
You know?
no, but the whip is
really
great too. Like because I actually whip. I have my whip upgraded that if they are, I believe, if they're not holding anything and you whip them, you have a chance to, like, kill them in one hit or whatever, disable them in one hit.
That must have been a side mission book.
I did a lot of side missions in
Yeah.
Italy. I got to the point where I was
Fuck.
like, do I just want to 100% it? And I was like, I don't want to. I want to finish this game this week. I don't want to.
I take pictures of everything too. Like I don't know if you guys are obsessed with that,
Yeah.
but I literally take pictures of everything. Like,
So the game, if you don't want to do that, like just, the game will tell you when there's something there to take a picture
Yeah.
of. Okay, yeah. So whenever that pops up, I take a picture.
But I do
But
that
for a
because,
while,
like,
I didn't realize that was happening, so I just kept taking pictures of shit. I was like, maybe this is a thing, and it.
you can rank up your book so much quicker if you just take pictures of everything. Like you
Yeah.
can just like get all these like extra perks and everything. So
Yeah.
I'm just like taking pictures of everything. I just think it's funny because like I'm such a I was gonna say Nolan North. What's his name? What's
Baker.
Troy Baker.
Yeah, I'm such a hater of Troy Baker just because I'm like even though like I love Joel and everything, but I'm just like so sick of him being the voice of everything. But I'm just eating my words. He's good. I can't fucking hate on the guy. He's good.
Maybe he should have done the voice instead of old Harrison Ford and whatever that movie was called.
The new one, Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny. There it is.
It's just wild
Is
that
it Harrison
Machine Games-
in that movie?
Harrison's in that movie, but the opening scene is like a flashback to the end of World War II, and like they use a de-aged Harrison Ford for that, but Harrison Ford does the voice, and it's like it sounds like old Harrison Ford.
Oh, interesting.
When you first meet the guy in Italy, I don't know if we're still trying to not reveal what the location is. So
I mean,
It's a big deal. I really don't think
yeah,
it's a big deal.
you're in the
it's
Vatican.
like it's like so.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it is said, at least where
It
I'm at, like,
alludes to
hey,
it,
you need to
yeah.
go to the Vatican.
Yeah.
Like the guy who came by was like a priest. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I knew I was going
Yes.
to the Vatican.
When I saw him, I was like, I know who that actor is.
Right?
I had
Exactly.
I had to look
I knew
up. I was like,
can't
it
remember
is.
his name, but
It's
yes.
Enrico.
He's in so
I forget
much
his
stuff
name
though.
is,
I can't remember what like there's so many. There's a movie that he stands out to me in, and I could just a simple Google would like answer that question. But I
He's
just
in
haven't.
Galaxy Quest.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking of like what is it? Now I have to fucking look it up. Yeah, game's awesome.
But as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, I know who that actor is.
It's like a very good. I don't want to call it a walking simulator because that does it such a disservice. But like, kind of like a Detroit Become Human, but just like way more like you're involved in it, like kind of game. And it works. Everything about it works.
Are you talking
yeah,
about indie?
yeah.
I
I
think,
just
I think
can't
the
believe-
term, I think the like the genre term for indie is a immersive sim is what
Yes.
it's called.
Okay. Yeah. I still can't believe. Kind of funny. Did not like this game because like I feel like this has Greg Miller written all over it. It's so weird to me that he didn't like this
I don't
game.
know.
So weird.
He loves his PlayStation and his Uncharted.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fantastic. I don't know if I have the strong enough feelings to pull a Todd right now and say this is going to be in my top 3, but I think as it stands right now, it definitely find a spot in my top 10 for the year for sure. I'm enjoying it a lot. So much so that I was playing it up until we started recording the podcast. I was really enjoying my time. I'm having a great time with it. I think voice acting across the board is great. Like I don't know who else voices people, but like everyone in the game seems to be great. I mean,
Tony Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Tony Todd.
Oh, Tony Todd. I don't know. Yeah, it's plot centric. Another character that seems to be pretty prevalent, at least through the Vatican area. She's a great voice actress. Like she does a great job at that character. There's just a lot of good stuff going on.
Gina.
I think Gina. I'm talking about Gina.
Yeah.
It's just really great. And I will say, I was saying this to Todd earlier. And I'll be careful because I don't want to say too much. But another reason why I started doing a lot of side quests was that like some of the side quests would lead to just more within that world in terms of like cutscenes and like little things. And there was a side mission that I did that prompted a cutscene that I thought was like just a really fun moment and felt like indie and felt like an Indiana Jones movie scene, and it was so good. And I recorded it on my Xbox because I was like, this is such a great scene that like later from now I'll post it somewhere on social media just because I really like the scene. And I was like, I don't want to do it now because the game's still so new, and I don't want I don't want to rob that, like people finding that on their own. But it's just like a good little scene, and I feel like the game is just full of good scenes, and when it cuts between gameplay and some of these scenes kind of just like seamlessly, to pull it back to the beginning of the game, the same thing I said this to Todd the other day too. The beginning of the game, this is the opening, so like this is not like a super spoiler, but like if you really don't want anything revealed to you here, skip ahead. But when you're walking through the fucking jungle and you get to the water and the camera just cuts down to his hip in the whip, and his hand is like his wrist is like starting to like tingle a little bit, and it just says like press whatever RB to use your whip, and it just like turns around, like whips the fucking gun out of the dude's hand. Like it's so fucking little and so good. It's just so like it just felt good. I hope there are more moments like that.
Oh, there definitely will be, I think. I think like we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Like we really haven't. And honestly, I haven't had much of the main bad guy in this game, but the little that I've seen of him so far, I'm like, ooh, this guy's good. Like,
Wait, did you not get to the second location yet?
No, I did. I'm saying like we haven't gotten like a ton of him yet, though. Like, we haven't gotten like a ton. Like, and like I remember
at the end of that chapter, though.
Yeah, you do. You get a little. Okay. But like I'm saying, like going further into the game.
Yeah.
Because I remember them showing a trailer a while ago when you're in like a snow level, and he's like talking to him face to face, or you're like in the. There's another. I've seen like clips from like trailers, and I'm like, I'm already sold on that guy from like the 15 minutes I've got of him so far. I'm like, I'm excited to see like more of that stuff down the line.
Yeah.
I think the art direction's great. I think the graphics are amazing, and the art direction is
it's
awesome.
Great. It's a fantastic little thing. I'm really happy.
Wild. It's just so. We talked about this. It's so not a game. It's funny because like Machine Games makes like heavy combat gun games, and this game was so under lock and key for so long. We're like, oh, there's an Indiana Jones game coming. We got nothing, and then all of a sudden, like 8 months ago, we got like, hey, it's coming out this year. And we're like, wait, what? And man, they fucking nailed it for like a game that's like predominantly known for like gunplay and action. They fucking crushed it, at least so far.
Yeah, it's real good. I'm enjoying my time with it a lot. I will say so much so that I'm probably gonna watch like the original trilogy. Yeah, like I'm probably just gonna watch it after I finish the game, just because like I don't think I've watched those movies since I was a kid, because my dad used to love those movies, so I feel like they were on a lot in my house. Maybe not as much as Jaws. Jaws was, I feel like, always on. But like I don't like associate that type of stuff with my parents because I feel like they didn't really watch a lot of shit like that. But my dad definitely liked Jaws, A New Hope. He probably liked the original trilogy, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and then like I don't know, fucking.
Honestly, I'm in the minority. My favorite indie movie is the one that everyone's like. I feel like people are like it's not that good. I think Temple of Doom is the best indie movie. I fucking love it. Love it. I love that movie. It's like a huge part of my childhood. It's like I just fucking love everything about that movie.
Yeah.
And then we got to see Short Round win an Oscar last year. So it's all come full circle. The Great Circle.
Oh, that's what it's all about.
That's real good. But are you enjoying the brief parts that you played, Mike? Are you looking forward to playing more?
I think I need to get into the
Headspace.
actual gameplay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We need to get Mike on Rivals. I'm telling you, it blows my mind that Mike is not playing Rivals. It's just
at some point, I think I do have to just play it with you
guys. Just do it. Just fucking do it.
So far, all I've done is played like the practice range a little bit just to see how certain characters play. But I don't know how it works in like an actual game. But I don't want to I don't want to tank like an actual person's You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like go in with some randoms and be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And
No,
like,
honestly, it's every quick play match is basically like that.
People
It's
just
like
mess
everyone's
around.
just trying characters and
There's
like
no role
it's,
locks, so you just play whatever you want. Like, just have a fucking good time.
And they said they're not going to be like doing what Overwatch does basically, and like always like either nerfing characters. They're gonna like tweak some things, but they're not going the route of like this guy's OP, so we're gonna fucking change him completely. They're like they came out and said that they're doing minor tweaks, but nothing. They're leaving it the way it is. And
they came out and said Overwatch. There's no fucking way they came
not
out and
Overwatch,
said Overwatch.
not Overwatch, but like I'm saying like the way that Overwatch like almost does too many changes to like the everything. You know, I think that's kind of Overwatch's downfall in some ways.
I saw somebody, I can't remember if it was an article or a post, but it was like, I've been playing Marvel Rivals and all of the characters are OP. It's like,
yeah.
They
That's
don't
the
need to
thing.
touch them because they're all OP.
Yes, exactly, 100%. They're also all OP. Some are like a little bit more than others, but like, yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty much OP in that game, and I think it works in some ways, you know. And I'm not like, you know, whatever.
Listen,
it's not. I'm not gonna get pissed about fucking.
I don't want to. This is a whole nother separate conversation. We're sitting at an hour on the dot, and I'm not trying to bump this up longer. We can talk about Marvel Rivals and what I was going to say another time. But I will say I do like one of the things that Marvel Rivals is doing, and I hope they continue to do it, is that every season of the game, like they are going to kind of balance. It's just not the way that you think they are, Todd. The way that they're going to probably mostly balance it, I'm sure they'll still tweak things outside of that, is every season the synergies change.
Yeah.
So like cool. The fact that like, oh, if you have a team that has Mantis, Star-Lord, and Adam Warlock running it, you can all use Adam Warlock's ability to everyone gets a revive as a pocket revive. That will potentially change in the next season where they have different heroes have synergies, and I like that because that will force people to
play more team-based.
Play more. Well, not only play more team-based, but just I think it will naturally force people to have different team comps. Because I will say a majority of the matches that I play, no one is playing around synergies, but the matches that definitely have a tip in the team playing, like whatever team is using synergies, definitely just has a natural scale in their favor, because some of those things are like very hard to counter if you're not like playing the game that way.
Moon Knight and Cloak and Dagger together. Moon Knight has a move because someone's playing Cloak and Dagger that he like can't even be killed. Fucking, and it's got like a tiny cooldown, so it's like, but you don't get that if you don't play Cloak and Dagger. So it's like it's definitely people. In competitive, people definitely pick more towards those things. You know, like the
I mean, I think you should. I think it's smart to play that way. I think some of those team ups are super super beneficial. Some of them I don't see as much benefit in, but I'm just maybe not good with the characters. Like Thor, Storm, and Captain America have one, and I feel like I don't really know how to utilize that well.
Yeah,
but like again, the Adam Warlock, Mantis, Star-Lord one, I think is like a fucking huge thing to have in your pocket.
Adam Warlock's fun to play too.
The Scarlet Witch and Magneto one is fucking, I think, crazy overpowered because it makes Magneto so much stronger to have that ability. There are a few other good ones. Some of these are just characters I don't use. Like Venom, Penny Parker, and Spider-Man have a team up where if you don't even need... Some of them you don't need to have all the people. You just need to have like the main person. You just have to have the main person. Like if you have Spider-Man and Penny, they don't have a team up. But if Venom is there, they have the team up. So you can have Venom.
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah, you can have Venom and Spider-Man, or Venom and Penny, or all three, but you don't need to have all three. You just need to have Venom. It's the same thing with like the Thor, Captain America, Storm one is just dependent on Thor being there. So as long as Thor is there, if either of the other two are there, they get the team up. I don't know.
I thought it was funny that the Rocket one has already like leaked that there's the next character coming.
What is that?
The way it's written, it says like Rocket can ride on Groot's back, but the actual sentence says Rocket can ride on Groot or blank Period.
That's funny. Yeah, Jeff can also ride on Groot's back. But that's another one. Like, Jeff is in the game, and I don't know if any of those characters really have comic book relationships with Jeff, but Deadpool and Spider-Gwen,
Kate,
or
Kate
Gwenpool
Bishop
do.
does.
Who does?
Kate Bishop has a relationship
But
with
she's not in
Jeff
the
because I
game,
think
though.
there's like. What's
But I'm
that?
saying she's not in the game, so it's like
No, but
his
Hawkeye
team
makes
ups
a
are with
comment in
other
the game.
characters.
Deadpool
like,
and Gwen makes sense.
Yeah. So if they and neither of them are in the game, so if one of them gets added, I'm sure that they'll have team ups for that.
It wasn't Groot either. It was the Wolverine one. Fastball special.
Yeah. Okay.
It says Hulk or blank can throw Wolverine.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone play Wolverine in any of the matches I've played.
Oh, I see a lot of Wolverine. I see a lot of Wolverine.
I don't see it
I've
ever.
also seen the Hulk Wolverine combo, and
I haven't.
I didn't realize that
so
that was a thing,
in the video.
and it was so funny when I just saw Hulk pick him up and fucking throw him. I was like, this game is crazy. I love this game.
Great.
Yeah, I like the idea of it rotating the synergies between seasons, because like, yeah, it's fucking Marvel. They've all teamed up at some point in the comics, so like having them have different things that aren't always available, I think, is like a really smart way to utilize like character lore and character team ups and shit like that. So
they have so much content to use for this game that it's just gonna be going like it's they can save like fucking Deadpool for like year like 2 if they really want to do. They have like so many fucking massive people that they could use in that game. It's just like a never-ending well.
Yeah. Well, we got derailed a little bit, so we're gonna not talk about the Game Awards. And I usually never say up front at the beginning of the episode, we're gonna talk about this, this, and this. And I said the Game Awards, so now I feel like we are owed something to the people listening, hoping for us to talk about the Game Awards. So all we'll talk about tonight for the Game Awards, and if we feel like talking about it again next week, we can talk more about it, is what was everyone's favorite, I guess, announcement from the show? Like trailer or whatnot? I don't even know if I have a specific favorite one. I'm pulling up a list right now.
I got like 3 that like I'm pretty hyped about.
Yeah, so start.
Todd, say one of yours and say one of yours for me.
I mean, obviously, Naughty Dog, like anything Naughty Dog, I'm going to follow because I fucking love Naughty Dog. But I know it's like, it could be like a typical sci-fi game, but I have a lot of faith in Naughty Dog to just fucking make an awesome fucking game. So is that, the other one is Mafia Old World. I'm super fucking excited for that game. I feel like I'm probably one of the few people, but like fucking Mafia 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. And then there was one other. What the fuck was the other one? Oh no, Mike, go quick.
No, I'm using your Mafia one.
Like you want to play as Clive, right?
Oh, yes, that. But there's one other one. Oh, so I'll say this. Slow Clap came out and they were like, we got a big announcement at the Game Awards, and I'm like, oh, let's go, baby. You're gonna give me some fucking Saifu multiplayer? You're gonna give me a new Saifu? I wasn't expecting a new Saifu though, so Sifu, sorry. But then they came out with this soccer game, and I was like, oh, okay.
I think it looks fun. I'm surprised you don't like it. You like soccer?
No. I was gonna say I will play the shit out of that. It looked a little wooden, which is like my only gripe with it.
And
like
that's how I think Sifu looks and feels, is wooden.
Oh, dude, no way. The flow on that is fucking.
We don't need to go into
it. Yeah, we don't have to. Yeah, no, but like that game is like. But Sifu might look like fucking 3D fighter boxy, like, but like the flow of it's good. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like a Rocket League Soccer, which I think is a fucking genius idea. And if it's fucking good, it could be really fun to play multiplayer on that. So
yeah. What about you, Mike?
To answer Dom's thing, I mean, I haven't played as much Tekken as I should, so I can't even speak to the fact that Clive is coming to the game. I don't know if I'm going to turn on the game at all to just download him.
Like Tekken came and went.
I mean, out of the 3 fighting games that came out around that time frame between Tekken, Street Fighter, and MK1, I feel like Tekken was the bigger one. Well, the one that seems to have the most legs. I mean, people are still playing Street
Oh, really?
Fighter.
I felt like I feel like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter had more legs than Tekken.
Mortal Kombat, like Todd, this is how much you don't know what you're talking about right now. Mortal Kombat Is the newest one called Mortal Kombat 1? Is it called MK1?
Yes. MK1.
I'm not sure.
That game is not doing well, and it's like its competitive scene is like actively trashing the game. That nobody likes. That
Oh,
game.
I'm not going by competitive. I'm just going by like
Yeah,
what
but
I
those
see.
are the people
like,
that keep it going. Like that's the.
Well, I'm
the
saying like I
legs
follow a
that
lot
any
of like
these games
sounds
have.
stupid, like but on like Twitter and TikTok, like whenever I never see fucking Street Fighter clips. I only see Mortal Kombat or fucking.
I
don't
tell you
even see
right now,
Tekken
Mortal
that much.
Kombat is struggling out of the three of those games.
But you know what?
Kombat
You
is
know what I
not-
see.
Not doing.
You know what I see from
Tekken
Mortal
did not
Kombat
come and go.
clips?
Tekken's doing great.
Yeah, I mean it's. I feel like that game was talked about for like 2 weeks when it launched, and then no one fucking ever talked about it again.
Who
No,
are
I
you,
think
who are you
between, like,
hoping is
the-
talking about it? Because
the
fighting
characters-
games
Saying,
are
like-
still so
But
niche;
it's like
they don't get talked
because
about in like
so
the
hear me
broad.
out. I was considering buying that game, but I knew you got it, and I was
haven't.
like,
I'll play it if you buy it.
no, but like it's one of those things where I wanted to see how long people were going to be playing it, and then like I saw the drop off that quick, and I'm like, I'm not buying the game.
I think people are playing it. You're just not playing games with those people.
No, I mean, I guess, but I mean, usually I hear people talk about something, like I just don't ever hear.
Who are these people you're looking for?
TikTok. Brenden.
No,
He's on
but
TikTok.
even you, like you bought it and you talked about it for like a week or two, and then you never fucking talked about it again. So like in my mind, I'm like, oh, if Brendan's not playing it, that's like
I
takes
mean,
a huge
I'm
swing
not
out of
a-
someone I would play with.
I am not a barometer for Tekken because I am a very open.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
But-
want to say I don't like Tekken. I'm bad at Tekken, so I don't play Tekken unless people want to play Tekken. I'll play Street Fighter or any Street Fighter like any day of the week. I love Street Fighter. I'm very good at Street Fighter style fighting games. Tekken is a completely different animal that I am not good at because I've never taken the time to be good at Tekken. Mortal Kombat, I think, is stiff and wooden and just not my style of fighting game. I've never liked Mortal Kombat fighting games. I've never been good at them, and I don't think that they're...
I like them, but I know what you're saying with the stiff combat. Definitely.
They just
It's
feel
more
stiff. They always feel stiff.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I totally,
just-
I 100%.
There's something
it's part of
off
what it
about
is.
that. Like Street Fighter to
It's
me
rigid.
just
You
feels,
like do a
yeah,
kick
it
and you're
does
just
feel
like,
rigid.
Yeah,
Where
it's
Tekken
just,
doesn't feel that way. Tekken is very rhythmatic and like flowy, and I'm just not good at it. Tekken 8 is again, the game's not dead, nowhere near dead. Tekken 8 is the type of game where at some point I'm gonna sit down and try to like get good at Tekken because I would like to be able to play Tekken in a more. If people were like, "Hey, let's play some fucking rounds of Tekken," where I can be like, "All right, well, I can hold my own. I can play some fucking Tekken."
It makes me
We
so
gotta play
sad.
it.
That, fucking Clive. It makes me so sad
Not
that
as
the
Clive.
goat of fighting games is fucking like the weakest Soul Calibur because it's my favorite, and fucking like that game like comes and goes and fucking. Is there even a competitive scene for Soul Calibur? I mean, I doubt it. Probably at this point,
I mean, when was the last Soul Calibur game?
like 5 years ago, probably.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
4
I
or
imagine
5
there is
years
a scene for it, but it's not like it's not
I
main.
love Soul Calibur. I love it. I love that you can like move around. Like and
I mean, Tekken 8 sold 57 million copies, which is a lot.
whoa, 57. That can't be right.
That's what this.
57.
People love Tekken.
Maybe that's wrong. Hold on. Maybe that's just the series. Maybe that's wrong. Let me pull up this thing on.
Oh,
you
it's
guys'
like,
website.
it's probably sold like
That
2 or 3
seems-
million. I think.
No,
That
fighting
seems
games
low.
don't sell.
They don't.
Fighting games don't sell. Mortal Kombat is actually probably, if you remove Smash Brothers, which some people will do because stupid, they don't consider it a fighting game. Mortal Kombat might be the most sold fighting game because it appeals to a different audience. Tekken 8.
I can't find the number. I'm like looking, but it came up with what you said, but it just says
Tekken 8, selling over 57 million copies worldwide. This fighting game is the newest release in the main series.
I think it's a
I think that's
I think
talking
it's a
about Tekken
purposely
now,
bad
yeah.
written sentence. I think
Yes.
it is talking about the series.
This
It's 58
game is
million
the
is
newest
like-
release in the series.
Because
I'm try-
Tekken 8,
I'm trying to
Tekken 8
find
is
it.
not going to sell more than fucking Mario Kart or Breath of the Wild, and I don't even think those.
yeah,
are
I think it's a series thing. I don't think it's the game.
It surpassed 1 million units on its first day of release.
and that was probably the bulk of
Petered
people
out
who
at
bought it.
5. I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
I
guess
would say
I'm-
like 2 or 3 max.
I'm just look it up.
It surpassed
find
2
it.
million in its first month.
Yes.
There's no like
Um,
definitive info on this. I can't find anything.
So
like,
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a list of software sales by franchise. Mortal Kombat 80 million, Smash 75.6 million, Dragon Ball 62 million, Tekken 57 million. Street Fighter 55 million.
Yeah, I bet you it's at like 3 or 4 million in, which is like I think that's pretty fucking good for a fighting game because I feel like that's I don't know. I never played Tekken growing up. The only Tekken game I ever played was Street Fighter versus Tekken.
There's got to be a way to find the sales history for this game.
I know.
I can't. I'm trying to find it on the
anything.
fly, and I can't find.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything. There's like literally nothing.
But Tekken 8 has done very well. I mean, it just won a Game Award for Best Fighting Game. Not that there's always a lot of games in that category, but yeah, I don't know. Mike, what's your actual favorite thing from TJ?
Honestly, I can't think of anything else, so we're just gonna go
Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Yeah, I was surprised. I knew someone would be excited about that.
I love playing those Sonic Racing games.
I don't
Right?
fucking know.
Is that like? I feel like Cam would love that. Isn't he like a Sonic Racing guy?
Probably. He's a big Sonic Racing guy. I didn't know about that Dispatch game. I thought that game looked really fucking cool. The game with Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey.
Yeah,
that one did look interesting.
That looked like really, really cool. I think my favorite thing is a toss-up. I really was excited to see Project Sentry, which is the new RGG game. It looks fucking phenomenal. Really excited for a new take in the Yakuza Like a Dragon
that looked great too.
world. So I'm extremely, extremely interested in whatever that ends up being. Maybe that is my top thing that was revealed. It looked really good. I'm a big fan.
It looked like super update, like next gen kind of game.
It looked different. It looked like it clearly went back to its brawler roots, or at least
it looks like more realistic
gameplay.
looking though. In a way, like it's
it's
something about I don't know what it was, but
it's I don't know if they said it. It's definitely a different era of Japan. It's not. It's definitely like. Let me see if this article says anything. I don't know if it says an action game set in 1915. So yeah, it's
okay. Yeah.
I believe the Yakuza games are supposed to take place on like present-ish day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably for me. What about you, Dom? Any standouts? Any favorite?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've probably said them all. The Yakuza Century, whatever the
Project
name
Century,
of that game was, yeah. The Naughty Dog game looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm still confused by the Project Robot or whatever that game's called. The one from the Shadow of the Colossus guy.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for that. Oh, Jesus. Okami sequel. I'm very excited for that.
I don't even know the playset. I don't even know what is it. Is it a 3D platformer?
Okami is like a Zelda like.
It is okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I don't even think I've ever watched gameplay on it. I
never finished the first game, but now that this is a thing, I'm definitely gonna like prioritize playing that.
Is it on Xbox? Could I buy is it?
I think it's on everything. Yeah, it's on Xbox.
Oh,
it's actually on sale on Xbox right now for $5.
Shut the fuck up, really?
I already own it on Switch, and I am probably gonna buy it on Xbox tonight for $5.
Oh, that's awesome. Great call. Remind me to do that.
I was waiting until it's already open. If I switch screens, it's sitting open on my Xbox right now because
that's insane.
I was gonna wait for Dom. So we don't own it, right? I don't think we do.
I can't remember if I bought it there or if I bought it somewhere else.
I have it on Switch, so if we don't have it, I
almost bought Onimusha on Xbox because
I bought it. It's so good. Dom, it holds up so fucking well.
Really?
I was amazed at how this game holds up.
You buy that, I buy Okami. We're good to go. Ready to rock. All right, is that we done? Have we reached our conversation on the Game Awards?
I will say I never watch these awards. I will like tune in, tune out, watch like a live feed in and out, but like the flow of these were pretty good this year, and I like didn't think it was as bad as previous years. I think it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I think everyone has. Everyone has criticisms about the Game Awards. I have criticisms about the Game Awards. I'm sure you guys have criticisms about the Game Awards. Everyone talks about it. We've talked about it in the past. I think for what the show is, I think this is the best that it's been. I think this is
definitely.
like the best of what that show is probably really ever going to be. It seems like he takes feedback into the things people actually have some issues with and tries to, do what he's going to do with it. I will say for sure, probably the best use of the Muppets. And I loved
Dude, they were amazing.
that
They
they
were
were
fucking
just
amazing.
seemingly the voice of people's complaints on the internet,
Yes,
like just
100%.
ragging on him.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy that a lot. It was very
Like
good.
does Kojima know? Like was the best.
Yes.
line.
Honestly,
Oh my
I
God, it was
laughed.
so
I
good.
laughed.
It was so
I actually
good.
laughed out loud at that. Just
Same.
I did too.
it
Same.
wasn't even that. It wasn't even that Kojima looked disappointed or like.
I
that
don't
it
even
was.
know. Yeah, right.
It just looked as though he knew they were talking about him, but he does not know enough
what they're
English
What they're
to know
saying.
What
Yeah.
they were saying is like
These
I don't know what's going
puppets are
on. Why-
talking about me.
These puppets are getting a lot of screen time. Who are they?
And everyone laughs, so he's probably like, "What the fuck?" You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's,
I thought the selling out joke was pretty good at the beginning.
Yeah, it was
I
great
just-
too. Yeah.
Whoever wrote the jokes for Stadler and Waldorf,
Yeah, they crushed it.
where they were great. It was fantastic. It was the
When
best
they originally
the best
came out,
use
I
of the
was like-
Muppets they've used so
Yeah,
far.
hell yeah.
Harrison
Yeah.
Ford coming out was really good.
Yeah.
Also really
I was
good.
very,
Coming
very
out
surprised
and
that
then
he came. And then obviously, yeah.
I love that
The
he didn't want to read
teleprompter,
whatever the
like-
fuck they wanted him to read. It was great.
Either
It
the
moved too
teleprompter
fast.
wasn't working, or he was just like, "Fuck it." I'm
No, I
here,"
think
you know?
it seemed like because he was like, yeah, he like was doing that
No,
with
I
his
think-
hand.
I think the teleprompter wasn't working because it happened
Oh.
again.
It was somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone
It
else.
did
They were like,
happen
we're-
to,
we're
like,
riffing.
yeah.
That's the worst, man. Like
The
that's gonna
actress,
suck
the
so
actress
bad.
that's playing Dina in The Last of Us. It happened to her.
Yeah. She's like, and
Yeah.
the teleprompter's not working, so
Yeah.
you don't really know what to say now.
Oh, that's the worst, man. That's gonna be the worst.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so good. But Harrison
thought-
Ford's great. I love.
I
Harrison
thought it
He's
was
awesome.
really bad because like he had just complimented Troy Baker's
All right.
performance.
Yeah,
of-
right.
of
Exactly.
Indy, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like Harrison Ford, like coming out and like,
Give him the
and then
approval.
he was like, and the teleprompter's not working. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so he was
Yeah,
told to
right.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But he's also seems like the type of guy that like he probably wouldn't say anything if he didn't actually want to say it. Like he's like very curmudgeon-y and kind of like
He's
Yeah.
dry.
He's Harrison
he's
Ford. He
got
can
a
do
very,
whatever the fuck he wants.
his sense of humor is so dry.
Yeah.
Like it is like as dry as can be.
Which I'll just like shamelessly plug a show that I think everyone should watch. Shrinking.
I haven't
He's
watched the
so
second
good on the
season.
show.
Yeah, I gotta watch that
He's
show.
so fucking good on it. It's a good show overall. I'm enjoying it for the most part. The season that it's on, I don't know if it's season 2 or season 3. I can't remember, but it is coming to an end. I think it's got to be the next episode, the last episode, or the next couple. But still really good.
And Brett Goldstein's a regular cast member this season, isn't he?
Yeah. It's an interesting introduction. I don't know if you know who his character is or not, but
I don't know. I
okay,
haven't
yeah,
watched
then I
the
won't
second
say it.
season
I
yet.
won't say
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
The one thing that I will say, I don't remember it happening in the first season, but they definitely do it a few times in this season. Some like disability jokes where it's like disability is the butt of the joke, and it's like, the show's so good otherwise. Like the show also is like dealing with mental health and like in a really positive way, I think. And it's like, why are you gonna have these fucking like, what are we doing? Otherwise, it's great. There are some other actors that show up in the season that I won't spoil because
Oh, really cool.
yeah, I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's on the list. I gotta watch it soon.
It's good. Well, I'm in the point now, and we're just fucking talking to talk, and it's annoying the shit out of me that I'm doing this myself, even though I would like to wrap this up. I'll just quickly say, I'm getting to the point where, anime aside, like, we're not really watching anything. We're caught up on Shrinking, and there's nothing else going on that we're watching. And I think I'm going to start Severance.
I really want to watch that, so let me know.
I watched the first
I'm-
episode a long time ago, closer to when it had come out, and people were talking about it. And it was just, I picked the wrong time to start that show. I started the episode, I was like, nope, not right now. Like, it's just like, no, I'm not in the mind. Like, I can't
Yeah,
deal with
I
this
like
right
weird
now.
shit. I'll take that.
But I do want to watch it. Jen has no interest, so I'm just going to bang it out at some point and watch it. And then the other thing that I have been like hovering over pressing play on, I really want to start is I really want to watch Veep. I've heard good things, and like I feel like I should watch
Getting
it.
a lot
So
of offers from
so none of us have watched Veep, right?
No, it's something I want to watch too, though. Because
Yeah. It has a
people
good
fucking
cast.
rave about it.
Aside
it
from
won,
like
she won like every year
Yeah.
too.
like Julia Louis-Dreyfus aside, like it has a great cast outside of that too. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good actors in it.
Tony Hale.
Tony Hale.
Tony Hale's in it. The guy from Detroiters, I can't remember his name.
Sam Richards.
Sam Richards, yes.
Yeah. What's the other guy whose name I can't remember off the top of my head?
Oh,
right
the
now?
Rizzler.
There's another guy in her cabinet that I can't remember his name right now. He's like a side back character in a lot of movies.
Oh, Matt Walsh, I think.
Matt Walsh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I had to look up what he looked like. I'm like, I know who that is. Yeah, a lot of people in it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I've been looking for like the right type of show for me, and I feel like Veep might be the thing. So we'll see. Plus, I just love Julia Louis-Dreyfus, so
Right.
I feel like I need to get more of her catalog in my viewing. That I'm
Gonna watch The Adventures of Old Christine after this.
I don't know what that
Oh,
is.
there you go.
Maybe is it good? Are you just fucking with me? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
It's like the show she did after Seinfeld.
Interesting. Sure, maybe if it's on streaming, is it good?
I feel like it had a bunch of seasons.
I feel like it did run for I think it.
But it did run because
ran-
she was hot, though. Or
Well,
did it
I
run
feel like
because it was
everyone else from Seinfeld didn't do too hot after Seinfeld. I think she was the only one that had like a show that worked for.
Whoa,
Well, I
B
mean-
movie.
I said show.
I want to be clear, and
Something else.
I feel pretty confident in saying this. I think she is the best cast member on SNL on Seinfeld.
She was on SNL.
She was on SNL.
He's not the best cast member from SNL.
No, George
No.
Costanza
No.
is the best cast member.
I think George is a very close second, like very close.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like
I
like
agree.
a
I think
fucking
it's like
hair.
yeah. No,
I
they're
think
like,
she's the
honestly-
funniest, consistently funniest person on the show.
I think Kramer's up there too. I think like
I mean,
Jerry's probably at, like
he is. I think Jerry's the worst person on the show.
yeah. He's
Like
100%.
both just like I think he's a bad person, but that's like the point of the show, maybe kind of. But I think he's also the worst
One
of
of the
like.
shows that none of them are good people.
Well, that's also true. I think
Truly,
I do,
90s Always Sunny.
I do think it is kind of that. I do think Elaine is sometimes not, and I think Kramer's just unaware. But the other two, I think, are more often not making bad choices, like knowing they're making bad choices. Jerry
Kramer's
for sure.
unaware. Yeah,
Jerry
Kramer's
is the most aware.
Kramer's unaware and like makes bad decisions. George is completely aware and is like, I know, but this is the only way I'm going to be able to like get ahead.
Yeah.
And then I think Elaine and Jerry are both shades of their hearts are in the right place most of the time.
I don't think Jerry's
then-
is. Mike, rewatch the show. Jerry is
Well,
like
when-
always
when
making
Jerry-
bad choices.
When Jerry's trying to help like the Pakistani restaurants, like, oh, you should do this, you should do this, and like he did genuinely want to help because he thought it would make him a good person. Like he wanted to help, but he also thought like he's a good person, and he would help, and ultimately that blew back in their faces. I think, yeah, at the bare minimum, they believe they are making the right choice most of the time.
Yeah, I would.
I think they believe they're making the right choices. Although there are cases where they're like, I know what is right, and they lean more towards George, where it's like, I'd rather not do the right thing because it's an inconvenience to me.
The best thing that Jerry does is that when he knows George is consistently making bad decisions, or George asks him a question, he knows he could probably steer him in a better direction or answer something in a way that would maybe help him, and he doesn't. Which is probably the best. This is the best thing Jerry does in the show, like comedy wise, for me, is like that's like his thing. But I think consistently, I think Elaine is like the funniest character. With George, again, it's like a hair difference. I think they are the two funniest characters in the show.
That's probably fair.
Anyways, yeah, we're a Seinfeld podcast.
I was gonna play
the
this.
soundboard.
No, I don't want to get maybe DMC. I have no idea. We don't need to add that into the mix to
Right.
do something that we don't need to happen to us. Before we wrap things up, because this has been a long episode, Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 450 of the Pass Controller Podcast. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, you want to support the show, a bunch of ways to do that. The easiest way and the freest way to do that is leave us a quick 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. Super beneficial to leave us a quick 5-star review. We appreciate you if you do. If you have bucks and you want to spend them on us, a couple of ways you can support us. You can go to patreon.com/passthecontroller, become a patron. You can go to twitch.tv/passcontroller and subscribe to us over there. You can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and get some swag. As a reminder, if you're an audio-only listener, we do record the show live every week at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you want to catch the show live, but you can't, but you still want to watch us, you can go over YouTube and just search Pass the Controller Podcast. You'll find everything that we do over there afterwards. You can also go to passthecontroller.io, which is our website, which will bring you to everything we got going on all the time. Now, as we do with every episode, we end with the game, and the leaderboard for the year currently stands with Dom in first at 62 points, Mike in second with 48 points, and Todd in third with 47 points. Mike finally took the lead. Part of that was because maybe Todd wasn't here, but who's to say? I think Micah still would have got the points.
I just want to let you know I've missed, I think it was 16 episodes this year.
That's 16 bonus points. That's 16 bonus points. The game that we're going to play tonight is a game we've been falling back on a lot lately because it's supposed to be quicker, and we're at an hour and a half, and I'd like this to go quick. But just in our own fashion, I wanted to go quick, but we're going to extend it by doubling it because it, A, is getting towards the end of the year, but also B, because the theme of this is going to be Game of the Year TGA nominees. So the way this is going to work is we're going to play Gaming the Meta, which if you have not listened to the show before or you don't know what Gaming the Meta is, I'm going to pick a few games. We're going to go off of the highest platform reviewed Metascore. Whoever gets the closest gets a point. Whoever gets a bullseye gets 2 points. We're going to do the Game of the Year nominees for the Game Awards. So let's see how much all of you know and remember these games, or if you have an idea of where you think they land. So we'll just start in order listed on this, which I believe is just in alphabetical order. So what do we think that Game of the Year winner at the Game Awards, Astrobot, has for a review score for the PlayStation 5? Mike.
I feel like it might have. I don't think that would affect the score, right? If it got review bombed, like as of last.
We're going off critic reviews on Metacritic.
Wait, did it get review bombed?
I think so.
No.
I think people were upset that it won. Okay, so if that doesn't factor into anything,
Doesn't factor in, yeah.
I'm gonna say 94.
Okay, Mike's gonna walk in at 94. Todd, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna say 95.
Okay.
Smart.
What about you, Dom?
I was also going to go mid-90s, but I don't think it's 96.
Good movie.
You think there's a bullseye to share in that lot, or are you going?
I do believe this was the highest rated game out of all the games on the list of
I don't.
out of everything. This was the highest rated. I know that for a fact.
I'm going to go. I'm gonna go 94.
What did I say?
You also said 94, and Dom said bingo, and fucking that's a double bullseye. So 2 points apiece for Mike and Dom.
What was it? Is this not the highest rated game of the year? Am I wrong?
I have no idea. It was a 94. I'm not going to answer that question either because you got 5 more games to do.
Oh yeah. We're doing all the games.
Oh wait,
this year.
did you say this was the highest rated game of this year?
I didn't say it was.
Oh wait, it was the highest rated game of this year.
Sure. Game number 2 is Balatro.
So it's not as high as
again.
Astrobot.
Not a fan. We're gonna go off of the PC review scores because that is the highest amount of reviews. Not the highest score out of the other reviewed platforms.
Well, it can't be the highest score because you said Astrobot was the highest.
Again, didn't say that. Todd, what are you thinking? Balatro.
Fuck. I don't know. I want to say like 68, 70, but
probably. I mean, it can't be 95.
No.
Because then it would
Well,
be
it
the
can't be
highest reviewed
96.
game. No.
Oh no, it can't be 95. You're right. You're right.
So 95 to 100, you can just X out. You don't even have to think about those numbers. Those
Yeah.
numbers are dead to you.
So let's go. You said it wasn't the highest reviewed?
I said it was actually the lowest reviewed of these 6 games.
No, on the PC you said. You said it was.
No,
it had a lower
I
reviews?
just said that out of the 4 platforms on Metacritic that it has enough review scores to be aggregated,
Yep.
it's not the highest. But we're going off
Yeah.
of PC.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought you said. I will say 95.
Okay. So I was going to double down on 95s. Dom, what are you thinking?
I honestly have no idea how a card game would do. Well, a card game, I guess. I guess I'm gonna go 85, I guess,
Okay.
and let Mike split the diff.
What you think?
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say 91 to begin with.
Just go
Okay,
90,
so you go
and then you're
90.
splitting
Mike's
the
gonna
diff.
probably get this.
Are you going
No,
91?
I want 91. I want 91.
Should have listened to Dom. You would have got a bullseye because it is a 90. So Mike,
What was it on the other things?
it has a 90 according to PC, PS5, Switch. It doesn't have enough on iOS, Xbox One, or PS4, and it has a 95 on Xbox Series X.
Weird.
The next game number 3, Black Myth Wukong. We are going to go off of the PC review scores. Dom, what are you thinking? Black Myth Wukong. It picked up a Game Award last night. I think at least one. I forget which one.
Yeah,
It got more than one?
Player one and best action, I think.
Can't be higher than 95 though.
That's true. It can't be higher than a 95.
Facts.
Also, something you want me to? No, I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm gonna go 85 again.
85, okay. Mike, what are you thinking? Black Myth Wukong.
I was also thinking 85-ish.
You think Dom got a bullseye?
Do I think Dom got a bullseye?
He thought you got a bullseye on Astrobot, and he said, give me that.
True, he did. Which was a wild bet to make. I don't think he got a bullseye, but my heart still feels 85.
You just thinking about 85?
Yeah.
Okay. Todd, take us home. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna be really upset about this. I can't decide between 81 and 82.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go 82.
Shouldn't listen to your heart because it was an 81. Todd gets the point, but
Damn
no
it!
bullseye.
God damn it! God damn it!
That'll bring us to number 4. Game number 4. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. Mike, what do you think Mr. Elden Ring, Mr. George R.R. Martin himself got on this thing?
What console do you say again?
Oh, I didn't say anything. Thank you. This is going to be the PS5 review score.
Elden Rings, DLC.
Also, not the highest of the 3 platforms on there.
This was the highest, actually. I was wrong. It was actually this.
This one. With the 95, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not guessing 95. I just wanted to make sure that Todd has to say 95 now because by his logic it has to be.
Nope.
No, it has to be between 95 and 100. Because he said it was the highest. He didn't say it was just 95.
Yeah. But to play it safe, unless one of us picks higher than 95, I think you should just pick 95. Just cover your bases. But I do feel like this is more of a 92-ish kind of DLC thing.
Okay. Mike's going to rock a 92. Todd, what are you thinking?
I'm going to say 93.
What are you thinking, Dom? You thinking they went too high? They went too low? You think they got a
I'm thinking it can't be higher than a
BINGO?
94, so it's got to be a
It's
94,
not.
right?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
The logic checks out.
Listen, I did
it's close. It's fucking
just
close.
spell the word, and Dom said bingo with a bullseye. That's double bullseyes for Dom. They call him 2 bullseye Dommy. That's a
What was it?
4-point banger. A 94. He got it on the nose. Game number 5, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Ugh.
Todd, what are we thinking for Rebirth? Your favorite game of the year?
I'm gonna go 93 again.
Okay. Todd's going to throw a 93 in the mix. Dom, what are you thinking? Rebirth. This is, of course, the PlayStation 5.
I'm going to go
I will remind
95.
you, in the trailer, accolades trailer
Can't
for
be higher
this
than a
game,
94.
Pass the Controller said, quote, a marvel amongst the genre, end quote. So
It's true.
we got Todd at a 93. Dom, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go... I guess I'm going to go 94 again.
Okay. Mike, what do you think? Rebirth, Mike.
I feel like it can be anyone, every single one of these games. 93, 94, 90.
Yeah. but
Literally,
that
one of the
being-
games was like an 82. So
Well, no,
I
like
was-
that's because like Wukong was like the bastard of the group, anyways. Like that was like the lowest rated game out of all of those.
he's
He
trying to
says
throw you
that.
off, Mike. He's trying to throw you
Trying
off.
to throw me off. Yeah, I see little.
No, I knew that.
I feel like saying 90.
Okay. So we get a 93, a 94, and a 90. And Mike, yet again, is the closest. No bullseye. It's a 92. Right? No, Todd is the closest. 93. I lied.
Yeah.
Todd scooping a point. I got too excited for Mike getting another point. That'll close us out on game number 7. One Mr. Metaphor Fantasio. The Italian Persona game. Who's going first this time? Mike, I guess? I don't know. No, Dom. Dom goes first on this one. Dom, what do you think for Metaphor Fantasio? We're going off of the PlayStation 5 review score.
I'm going to guess 90.
Okay. Mike, what do you think? Italian Persona.
I feel like it's either 93 or 95.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with 90. I'll split the difference. I'll just do 94. 94.
Okay. Todd, what are you thinking?
Well, once again, I am going to go 93. 3 in a row.
Mike, I don't know what just happened to
I
you.
got the bullseye?
I don't know what just like overcame you there, Mike, and what just shifted the
With the
tides
diff.
within you.
But the diff, I thought he was going to say 93. Oh, I was going to say 93 no matter what, even if he said 93.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying whatever Mike just happened to Mike had an awakening and opened his third eye and saw a bullseye in his future,
God damn it.
and it was 94. Bingo. That means Mike's got a double bullseye.
Damn, let's go for
So
Mike.
Mike's taking home 5 points tonight. Dom is taking home. Fuck, did Dom?
Oh, now that Dom
did Dom get a
moved?
bullseye twice too? No.
He might have gotten 1 or 2.
Did he?
You literally said that's why they call him double bullseye.
Double
for Dom.
Now
You
that
said
Dom's
something-
not there, that picture's so good.
So Dom's walking home with 4 points. Mike's walking home with 5, and Todd is walking home with 2, which will leave the scoreboard sitting at a cool 48 plus 5 is 53. Is that math, Mike?
I wasn't even listening.
48 plus 5 is 53.
Yes.
62 plus
No, wait. 48 plus 5. Oh, yeah, 53. Sorry.
62 plus 4 is 66, and 47 plus 2 is 49. That'll leave the scoreboard this week ending with Dom with a 66-point first place lead. Mike slowly climbing up that ladder in second place with 53, and Todd sitting at a humble 49, taking our third place spot. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.